first like 30 minutes of it, I did some work on responding to clients and making some plans for the week and explaining some of how I was going to be working on updating my app navigation and things of that nature. I can't remember now what are all the different things that I worked on and talked about, of course, but it's now gone. So, this is just a little intro, I suppose, to the 30-ish minutes that I do have, and to give you some context to the video just kind of starting mid-work session. So, I'm sorry for losing that content. Obviously, it's going to happen from time to time, but yeah, I guess it's okay. And I'll just transition now into my midway work session. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, she's getting a fair amount of people who are getting to that page. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. actually want to offer her, if it's like a actual work day or just some back and forth. Okay. 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 Let's see. Okay, so now we're looking at whether Google Calendar or Calendly is a better option. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna actually send her my calendar so that we can chat on Zoom rather than try to do all of this back and forth, but I can't remember which meeting time I want to use. Let's see. Okay. Oh, excuse me, sometimes whispering does that to my throat. I'll try to edit that out if I can. Got my calendar. Okay. Let's see. I think we'll do like a 1 hour session. I just need to make sure my calendar shows my availability properly. It doesn't show I have anything. Yikes. Okay. I'm just gonna send her my actual. computer was still making sounds. Let me see. Alright, not gonna work. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'll get way too distracted. And as you can tell, my ADHD really pops off when I'm working on various things and jumping around because I don't pay very close attention. Oh my gosh. See? Okay. I just need to mute my computer. Simple as that. Done deal. Let's go back to Squarespace and get back to her website. Here it is. This one's actually a nonprofit who does like community events and stuff like that, and she has a new flyer she needs put up. She also wants some tips for how to make her Canva flyers look a little bit better. So just giving her some basic tips. See if I can help her out with that. I try to do as much as I can to not make everything like a fee or charge for all kinds of things and just try to help people out with this, running. Oh, sorry. I was sitting on my foot. I had to get my foot out. She's running a nonprofit. She's busy. She's got her own business going. And, like, yeah, I have my business too. And I need to make an income. But sometimes I find the more we can help each other out, the better. We all do. So, okay. That's done too. That's 2 off the list. And so now I need to go back to my email and check if I have anything outstanding there before I go into doing site updates. Nope. Perfect. Everybody else I already got to. It's, like I said, it's Sunday. So this isn't usually when I would do client work, but it's like one of those things where it's on my mind. I have the time. I don't need to carry it into tomorrow when I am probably going to be busier and, have it sit with me all day, so I might as well just do it now, right? Okay. Now, on to doing some site updates. Yay. I'm excited. I have been working on this for a little while, actually. If you've watched any of my other videos, you might remember that I have an app that I have been developing that it's a live app. It's a web-based app that is like live, active, being used. I have active users every day on the app, and I kind of try to continue to make improvements as people use it, and I get analytics and I get feedback from talking to users and all that kind of stuff. So I have this like round of edits that I've been working on to improve some of the UX and UI of the app. So a lot of them are done, and I've just been testing them before pushing them onto the live site, because obviously I don't want to break anything, right? So let me get my brain wrapped around where I am with that. also love to know if you are still with me, if you find the changing brightness. I don't know how many people actually watch versus just listen, but if you find when my screen changes brightness like that, like this, like, you know, if I go like this, and then go back, like how it changes brightness, if that bothers you or not. I am one of those people that tends to listen more than watch, so, you know, I'm not trying to create like a very stylized environment, as you can tell. It's very as is, the way that I found it. You know, I do have a nice, lovely office, but this is probably the messiest part of it. I don't know why, it just is. So, but I'd love to know if you are a visual watcher or if you are a listener mostly. Anyway, maybe I can clean my desk next time. And adjust the camera settings so it doesn't flash that light when I switch between brightness on my screen. Let me know. Okay. So the only thing that's bothering me right now is I don't have like a list. I don't have a written down list of the things I wanted to do. I think I have some stuff written down in my journal, which is currently my keyboard support and pad. So that's not gonna work. And this is my other notepad. This is so ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna make it a priority to get my stuff replaced this week. But tonight is what it is. So let me open the app dev area and pull up my code folder and try to remember where we are. Okay, I have a couple little things that I can process real quick. Oh yeah, okay. So one of the things in my app is it's like a self-discovery app for business owners, and one of the things that I have in there is to help you find your like 5 core values. It's like a values card sort. So you just say like important, not important, kind of important, or whatever. For I think it's like 85 different keyword like value words, and it helps you narrow it down to the top 5. So you have your top 5 values. So as you go through your day to day and you have a bajillion decisions to make, it becomes easier to make those decisions if you know like what your core values are. And for me and for a lot of people I work with, it's not only about knowing the values, but also being able to go back and see them from time to time and actually look at them on the screen or on paper or whatever from time to time. So that's what the values card sort tool does, and it's like an embedded tool inside of the app. So if you sign up new for the app, you can like tell it what your 5 values are, and if you don't know what they are, you can go through the tool, and it's just kind of buried in there, and I want to pull it out to be accessible first, I think. I have to get back into like the dev area. Okay, perfect. So I use a combination of doing my own coding and Claude Code to do the coding and make things faster and more efficient. And I just review the code. And I do all the CSS and things like that. I mean, it will apply my brand guidelines and CSS for me, but I do all of that. It's not like a totally AI generated app or like vibe coded app, but I do use Claude Code to help me manage some of the detail work and be more efficient. So I'm just gonna give it some instructions. Okay, so this is a little bit of a bigger task for code to work on, and that's obviously fine. That's why I use it, right? So that I can work on other stuff. And that is, I think tonight I need to make some improvements to the navigation and some of the language in the navigation. And so I absolutely need to write this stuff down. I'm not going to be able to do this just like, I don't know what it is. I have to write. I can't just like type ideas and like process my thoughts that way. I do it by hand. So I think what I'll do is find something else, or I'll just forego the mouse pad for now and use my notepad. Hopefully this isn't too loud. I'm just gonna like set this aside and bring my notepad over so I can use it like this. Okay. Okay, so like right now I have, oh, that's a little loud. Right now I have the dashboard, like a tools drop down, planner, forecasts, frameworks, and visibility. And I want to make those more like purpose driven than just labels or what they are. So dashboard's fine and tools are fine, I think. Planner, oh. Okay, so I'm just gonna write down like if I were to go with purpose driven. It would be something like work on my business, which would be the planner. The business profile. No, see, okay, that won't work. That one's out. So let's try something else. Like about me. And that would be your frameworks. That would be visibility patterns. That would be the values card tool that I just told you about. Values tool. And like probably the like forecasts. business profile. How to show up. Idea generator. It's tough because like not everything fits in those exact categories. Let me see. Okay, let me go into my Notion notes and actually do a quick search. Hopefully these noises aren't like crazy loud. I'm gonna search for. Oh, let me get my. Okay, I'm gonna search for. Oh, hang on. Claude's asking me something. Oh, okay. I'm gonna search for. I'm trying to remember what I was doing when I wrote this down before, so I could remember what words I was using in my notes or in my I use like text or voice to text, you know. Sorry for the outside sounds too. The city is alive. It is not very late at night yet. Let me mark this real quick. Okay. What was I doing that day? I'm searching for reorganizing app features navigation. I think that's what I was talking about in my brain dump. Oh, that's right. Okay. I found it. I don't know if I like that now though. Oh, I think I like this one. I had a few different ideas. As organizing it by learn, think, and remember. Because the app really does. It's okay, today, discover, reflect, and plan. That's really okay. I know my mouth can't keep up with my brain sometimes. All right, I'm gonna write that down here. So it's today, and that's your dashboard and daily forecast. And then we have discover. Oh, see, I don't think that word fits very well. Let me think about that. Okay, so but I do really like reflect because that's where you can get to your reports. Okay, I was in a different mindset at the time. This is really where I love taking time to come back to things because I was in a different mindset. How we're using the words discover and reflect. And actually why I started like recording these types of things, is because I have to talk this stuff out. I'm a very verbal processor. And that's like, okay, I have all of these different tools and they all help you in different ways based on what you're working on and what you're doing in your business. So there's like a planner and there's also an idea generator if you're feeling stuck. And I think both of those two things help you plan, but also like the seasonal forecasts also help you plan. And how to show up in the visibility area kind of also helps you plan, but not really. I think that's more of a reflect, but I'm using the word reflect as like a way to remember versus a moment to like quiet the mind and tune in, which would be like the tarot card pull or the chat with your chart or look back at your pinned things. There's like a pin board where you can like highlight certain things out of your reports. Okay. I think discover. Oh. I'm wondering if I just make it easier on myself for now and skip discover and just say we have like today or like prioritize. That could be a good one. Like prioritize, reflect, and plan. Or even like move. Okay. This is where I need to do a little bit more market research too and like get some feedback from real users on what they would like, but I'm gonna go ahead and build it out. Put my mouse back on here because it's like dragging on the desk and making terrible sounds probably. Let me try to move this without too much banging. Hopefully that was okay. We'll find out after this. Okay. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like today, reflect and plan, or like action